Okay. Yeah. It's the daily, daily go get mism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it whiz? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting. It's the daily go get mism show, all up in your area, and I'm feeling like a real man should. And I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should. Just the way that you should. Right here's where we stood ground, and I'm down to make the show go round. Is everything gonna be okay? I think it is. It's going down that way. Hey, how y'all feeling tonight, man? Yo, so they say when you know better, you do better. That's what they say. When you know better, you do better. But is it true? How many people do we know? We know they know better than what they've been doing, but they stop doing what they doing and start acting like they know better? Do they do better? Do they do better? I don't know, but I can show y'all a lot of situations where they don't go like that. And at this particular time, we gonna do this thing. Yo, the sun always shines. Yes, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay. Hey, it's the daily go get our message show. All right, y'all. So let's rock. It's gonna be all right. Hold on. Let me get my chat together. Let me get my chat together. Let me restore it, and then there we go. But we got Stacy Yvette White all up in the place. Good to see your face. Yeah, he's doing more than taking up space. You hold it down for the D-Yo. That I can clearly see. How you feeling, Ma? It's good to see me, you. Yes. And Chris and Wavy and Chris, yo, you came through on time and you are the what? And I see you talk about it too. He said, I'm just glad to be here on time. And Natasha Wright. Natasha Wright, how you doing, man? Good to see me, you. Yo, 100% true. Carol Chamberlain, mi favorita. Carol Chamberlain, mi favorita is all up in the house. Good to see me, you. And my big sis, Robbie Robin Ming. Yes. So T. Carey, right? Morning, noon, and night, always coming through. Good to have my eyes on you. Without. So that's what they say. They say when you know better, you do better. We've been hearing that since we was kids. I know most of us have. Anybody who has a grandmother, I know you heard that shit. If you were alive at any time, if your grandmother was alive at any time during your life, for you to if you were old enough to understand almost anything, you've probably heard them say, when you know better, you do better. Because you know how grandparents are so instructional, but they are instructional and they are also informational and they are also very compassionate. So you know how your grandmother, your grandfather, your grandparents can get you to do things that your mother and your father probably couldn't get you to do because you were too busy being a rebel. People don't normally want to rebel against their grandparents because they knew their grandparents was the ones that held them down. Their grandparents was the ones that always looked out. Their grandparents were the ones that they were taught to respect from the time that they got out of the womb. Their grandparents were always Johnny on the spot. Their grandparents were always the voice of reason. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't have to explain to y'all, but one thing that your grandparents probably always tried to do was to make sure that you did as good as you could as far as your potential was. So even if you were a slacker, or if you were lazy, or if you were a total screw up, when your grandparents came along, you tried to do the best you could. And one thing that's clear about you doing the best that you could is that you learned how and when to do your best when your grandparents came along. So they was always telling you, when you know better, you do better. Some people took that as an excuse, right? Some people took that as an excuse to just go ahead and act like they didn't know no better so they could continue to go ahead and do stupid shit. But what we're going to talk about tonight is, have we been getting that right? Because we know better, have we been thinking better? Or have we been repeating this cliche, repeating this proverb, repeating this sentence this saying, this figure of speech, when you know better, you do better. But we ain't been seeing no better. And some of us ain't been doing no better for ourselves. We stuck right there in a rut. We stuck right there in the muck and the mire, talking about, but when you know better, you do better. Well, you've been knowing better for however, how many years old you are alive, and you haven't been doing better in some area of your life. Is it that I only know better and do better over here, but I can't seem to get it together over here? How many people, since we was talking about family with your grandparents, your parents, and people who have, put those certain sayings in your life, in your head that you have adhered to, how many of y'all have an aunt or uncle, especially an uncle who's the best mechanic you ever seen, an uncle who can weld things you never seen, an uncle who can put up all the walls, an uncle who got many crazy balls, your uncle, you'll call your uncle, your uncle can do it, your uncle can do it, your uncle can do it. But one thing about your uncle is your uncle got a fucking drug problem, and your uncle ain't even tried to kick that shit. He has tried to act like he wanted to kick the drug habit, but he really just loved to get high. You think your uncle don't know no better than that? You know your uncle know better than that. Your uncle running around here acting all crazy, can't stay out of trouble. Don't even try to stay out of trouble. Back and forth to jail. Back and forth to jail. Back. Hey, my uncle just came home. No fanfare. He will be right back up in there in a little while, because I know he can't stay right, but he's the most talented thing in sight. He's the smartest out of all of my uncles and aunties. That motherfucker ain't no joke. But that motherfucker just can't stay right because he likes to get high every motherfucking night, and always keep some old crazy bitch coming through the fam. We can't invite this. No. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about, but it ain't that your uncle ain't no better. Your uncle had the same grandmother you had. Or I guess it was your great-grandmother or your great-grandfather. He was raised by the same one. You can tell. You do a before and after of your uncle. Look at your uncle. This is all the awards that he won while he was in school. This motherfucker was crazy. Couldn't nobody run as fast as my uncle. He was tearing up the damn track and field. Tearing it up. He was on his way to the Olympics. He was Carl Lewis. He was literally Carl Lewis, but better. Listen, man. Listen. You know that you got an uncle somewhere. I don't care whether it's on your mother's side or your father's side. I don't care which side that you closer with. You got an uncle somewhere that can do something better than anybody you ever have even heard of doing it. I'm telling you, my uncle could play basketball better than Michael Jordan. He was better than Michael Jordan, I'm trying to tell you. But he couldn't stay off that shit. Did he know better than to stay off of the shit? Yeah, he know better than to stay off the shit. He knew better than to use the shit, but did he do better? Did he do better? So they say, well, when you know better, you do better. What? Show me. Prove it. Oh, we're going to take it. We're going to take it there tonight. We got some shit we got to talk about. Wait a minute. AU Just B. How you feeling? Good to see me some you. I'm glad I got my peoples on right now too. I mean, I ain't mean to skip over you. Like, wait a minute, I'm up here first. My bad. Let's get it popping. Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this your daily. The daily go get 'em ism show. We do this every single day. Every day it rains. And the DG will do the same. We break it down, baby. Every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. Every day it rains, and the DG will do the same. I am your host, Sun 752, aka Omar, with the And if you can't say Omar with the, well, then you just say Omar with the R. It's the Daily Go Get the Business Show all up in your area. All right. So we talking about when you know better, you do better. Oh, yeah. Show me. Show me. Show me all the examples of the people that you know that knew better and then they started doing better. Because I got a feeling that maybe we just been saying this shit and we ain't been living this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know we gonna say it. We know we gonna say it right now. Each and every one of y'all out there listening, watching, participating. And by the way, I want to thank y'all for just that. Make sure that y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure that y'all share this show, please. Please share the show. And please, for all of my new viewers, new listeners, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I'd appreciate it. We're trying to build this movement. It's a good one. I think that you'll find that out. We in motion. We in motion. We definitely know better. We trying to do better. We trying. We following the blueprint. But I know each and every one of y'all are waiting on somebody that you know, love, care about, and think highly of to finally start living up to their potential. I know you are. I don't care if it's your man. I don't care if it's your woman. I don't care if it's your kids. I don't care if it's your mama or your daddy. I don't care if it's your brothers or your sisters or some friends that you grew up with, went to school with, around you hung out with around the way. Ace Boone Coon, each and every last one of us who care about anybody are waiting for somebody to go ahead and do that thing, whatever that thing is. The thing that we're waiting for them to go and do is their thing. Like, we watch them in awe, like, oh my God, this motherfucker is the truth. You may have even invested money in them before because they have that talent. They have that ability, whatever it is. But they don't be doing that shit. They'll do it for you. They'll do it for the moment. They'll do it for the quick thing. But when you talk about them making a career out of it, okay, all right, so they don't want to make a career out of it. Not everybody has to make a career out of something that they do well. I understand that. I get that. But why is it that they say that they want this particular thing, but when it comes down to actually nailing it down, getting serious, practicing, being consistent, staying the course, you would think they just got introduced to this whole concept because they are unfocused. They can focus for a hot minute, but when it really comes down to making sure, listen, every day we need to go and do this, or every so often, however it goes, whatever it takes, whatever it requires, we need to go ahead and handle this thing. But they don't handle that thing. They don't live up to that potential. But they are better than most people that you've seen. Even if they aren't better than the best that you've seen, you see that if they just kept at it, they can compete on the highest level, on the best stages. But you want it for them. And they say they want it for themselves. But you can clearly see. You know, when you know better, you do better. We are all waiting on somebody to finally start living up to their potential. You know it's the truth. You know damn well it's the truth. You know what I mean? Some of y'all like, I'm glad he can't see me right now. And it almost seemed like he can see me right now. Because you know who he talking about? Steve. Fucking Steve, man. My man Steve could do this. He could do that. Or it might be your actual boyfriend, your actual man, your fiance, your husband. Oh shit, you talking about Ron. Oh yeah. You know, I love my man. I do. I love him to death. And no matter what, I'm going to always be there by him. But there's one thing about him that I hope our kids don't never really copy. All the other stuff, I'm glad that they have his DNA. But this one thing, this one thing, this one thing, that one. All you gotta do is complete the job, yo. All you gotta do is complete the job, yo. Show up, make sure you do the job. You ain't gotta steal and rob. Speaking of stealing and robbing, we all know somebody who be stealing and robbing, stealing and robbing. You could be the best thing in the world, but you stealing and robbing. Why the fuck you out here doing that dumb shit? You stealing and robbing. Whoa, you was the smartest in class. You stealing and robbing. You can keep your hands to yourself and you're stealing and robbing. We can't leave you over nobody else. You're stealing and robbing. All you wanna ever do is stealing and robbing, stealing and robbing. Sticky finger stealing and robbing, stealing and robbing, stealing and robbing. Yeah, you know better, but you stealing and robbing. You always, I can't leave you know it. You just stealing and robbing. I can't go shopping with you because you stealing and robbing. You fuck around and get us locked up because you stealing and robbing. Why can't you just use the money stealing and robbing? You got a pocket full of money, but you stealing and robbing. You know why you got a pocket full of money? You stealing and robbing because you're stealing and robbing. You're stealing and robbing. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. We all know somebody who has the potential to be the best. And here we are waiting on them on the low. Like, he talking about my man. He talking about my wife. Talking about my sister. Matter of fact, you know what? I ain't heard from my cuz. He normally or she normally let me know what's going on. Because you know they out there doing that thing. How many people do y'all know? How many people have a family member that is good with making the money? They have a skill set where they can make all of this money, but all they want to do is sell drugs. All they want to do is sell drugs. No matter what they do, they sell drugs on the side. No matter what they do, they sell drugs on the side. Yo, they got their own business, sell drugs on the side. Been selling drugs since they were a teenager on the side. Always selling drugs on the side. Even did time for selling drugs on the side. Came out of jail, selling even more drugs on the side. Learned how to do more selling drugs on the inside. Selling drugs on the inside and the outside. Can't stop them selling the drugs. They know that shit is crazy as hell. They know that shit is tight bug, but you can't stop selling drugs on the side. Selling drugs on the side. What's going on, Sucre J Toi? Sucre JT Yucks. What's going on, Queen Monica Davis? What's going on, Queen Monica? Queen Monica, how you feeling, man? Good to see me some you. Sucre J Toi, good to see you too, no doubt. So yeah. They say when you know better, you do better. When you know better, you do better. I don't know. Somebody needs to come holler at me about that shit because I'm just not all the way sure. Shit. And I ain't gonna front even in my own life. Forget about anybody else. I have known better in a lot of situations. Did I do better? You know, when you allow your emotions to override your logic, are you doing better because you know better? We know that you know better than that. But what about this part? What about this part, y'all? What about when you know better and you could definitely do better, but you're not doing better because you think that what you are doing right now is either good enough or you're like, well, I'm going to do better later, but I need to take care of this right now. See, you don't understand. See, you know, you just don't understand. I understand that's not your life. But it is my life, and you have to respect what I'm trying to do. It's an excuse. It's an excuse, but we know people who use it, and you may be using that yourself. You know what you do well, and other people know what you do well. There's something out there that somebody in your life has been pushing you to do. I don't care if it's cooking. I don't care if it's singing. I don't care if it's rapping. I don't care if it's acting. I don't care if it's welding. I don't care if it's mechanical work. I don't care if it's carpentry. I don't care if it's roofing. I don't care if it's masonry. I don't care if it's plumbing. There is something that you know how to do. I don't care if it's doing hair. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all know how to braid better than any African. You know how, the African braiding shops. You don't see as many African braiding shops as you used to see. But a few years ago, 10 years ago, it was all about African braiding shops. You know what I'm saying? They can take some hair and they can braid and shit. Do Africans braiding and shit. You will never see no African American braiding shops or whatever. But we know a bunch of black girls who know how to braid hair way better than some Africans. And I'm not putting us against no Africans. Don't get me wrong. It's all the same shit. We down with the same kind of brown. However, it's a different culture. And you know that Black Americans are more maligned than any other dark person around the world. You know it. We also are the ones who do better than anybody around the world, but it's not representative of our entire community. My whole point is this. My whole point is this. We know about these African braiding shops, but we know somebody who is 14 or 15 years old who can outbraid any African in any African braiding shop. We know a 14 or 15-year-old girl that can braid anything. This chick can braid thread. Like what? Oh, I'm telling you, she can braid thread. What do you mean by thread? I'm talking about thread. No, not yarn. Anybody can braid yarn. It's thicker. It has a thicker texture. I'm talking about this chick knows how to braid thread. You know, the thread that you put through the eye of the needle. You know, when you don't have your glasses on, you can't put the thread in the needle. You can see that there's a hole in there, but you can't see in there good enough to put this little piece of thread in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? This chick can, and I mean thread. Yeah, of course. She could thread dental floss if she wanted to. But the girl got fingers that do what fingers should not be able to do. She can braid thread. So if she can braid thread, guess what? She can braid your individual hairs on your head. Yeah, you might have to sit up in the shop for 20 hours straight, no breaks. But guess what? She knows how to do that too. Like I'm trying to tell you. Little Letitia, 15 years old. She will sit on. I seen Letitia braid hair like she was in a marathon competition. She sat on her mother's porch and braided her sister's hair, sitting between her legs for 49 hours. Like, what are you talking about? I'm trying to tell you. 49 hours straight. Her sister slept and got washed on the porch while Letitia was braiding her hair. Like, what? What do you? Come on, you ain't got to exaggerate. I'm trying to tell you, I'm not exaggerating. 49 hours straight. Letitia braided her little baby sister's hair. And you should see the girl hair. This shit is so fine because Tisha can braid thread. So Tisha wanted to show everybody I can braid each individual hair. Her baby sister hair has won competitions around the world for her hair being, it looked like angel hair spaghetti. I'm dead serious. They look like angel hair spaghetti. Tisha ordered the hair from the hair store and only used one hair per one strand. Her baby sister's hair got a full head of hair. Why? Because each head of hair has another hair attached to it that Tisha braided like fucking thread. Tisha gonna have carpal tunnel by the time she's 17. Guaranteed. Am I exaggerating? Maybe. Am I embellishing? A little bit. But you know it's true. We know a young girl or somebody who was the best. We like, damn, Tisha got the potential. She could be the best hair braider in the world. But what happened? Tisha fucked around, was braiding hair 14, 15. Tisha was pregnant by 16. Tisha was getting high by 17. Tisha had 3 kids by 20. Tisha can still do hair, but Keisha ain't got time to do no hair. Keisha been laid up with 3 baby fathers, laid up with the last one, on her way to having the 4th one. Basically, only do hair now, you know, to keep the lights on, to keep the heat going on, you know, put a couple of dollars in a pocket or whatever. threw a whole life away. Tisha know better. Letitia know better. But is Letitia doing better? We know that Letitia know better. But we also know if you start coming around Tisha talking about why don't you do this and why don't you do that and why don't you just go ahead and use the talent. We know that Tisha got an attitude and Tisha gonna be like, yo, live your own fucking life. Tisha gonna say something to you like, well, like you doing everything the fuck you supposed to be doing. You giving me relationship advice. You got 3 baby dads too. And at least I know where mine are. How about you? How about you? Don't tell me what I should be doing. Now, I mean, look, if you want me to do your daughter hair, you can bring her around. I have an opening from, I don't know. I got a opening on Friday from I watched the Daily Go Getimism show. Obi finishing around 8:15, 8:30 on Friday. I can fit her in from 8:47, and I should be finished her hair by about 10:26. So if you want me to do it, I'll do it. Make sure you have my $75. Okay, Tisha. But you ain't have to act like that. You ain't got to talk to me like that. It is what it is. Sucre J. Twa says, you can know better, but you also have to want better. That's true. My question is, do you really know better? What is knowing better? What exactly does that mean? You may know. How about this, Sucre J. Twa, J2, JTX? How about you know of better? You may know of better. You know what could be better than what you had. You know other people who have more or who are doing better than how you are doing. You know of a different way to do what you're doing. But do you know better? Does that translate into you knowing better? Emily Dunlap in the house. I said that, Emily, it's good to see me some you. And Cherry, and what's good is coming through with Cinderella Dana Dane. Well, it's the woman Dana Dane with fame. It's Cinderella Dana Dane. Well, it's the woman Dana Dane with fame. And my man Jeff Hawkins. What's going on, my brother? Good to see me some you. What's up, my man? What's up with you? All right. Let's see what y'all talking about out there. Okay. All right. Here, right. Says anyone else here? Smokey Robinson became his. Wait a minute. Anyone else here? Smokey Robinson, because I keep saying I don't care repeatedly. I'll go back on topic. Okay. Jeff Hawkins says, yes, old good friend of mine and Mary's of Philly's finest could outsing anybody, famous or otherwise, but substance abuse had him. Mm-hmm. Yep. Shirley Shore, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Shirley Shore, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. Good to see me some of you. Word up. Okay, let me see. Kristen Wavy says, Omar, you're wild tonight. I thought I was wild at night, but it's all good. I know better though. I know better. But yeah. They say when you know better, you do better, but we just don't have enough proof out there. All of us know somebody who we know knows better than what they're doing, but they're still doing what the fuck they're doing. And they will tell you straight to your face. They will look you right dead in these peepers. They will look you right dead in yours and tell you, you mind your own fucking business. You just worry about doing what you do. I'm gonna get to my bag when I get to my bag. You go ahead and get to your bag. and please don't let them already be having the bag. And the bag is the money, in case y'all don't understand the lingo. Don't let them be in a position when they are making money, even though they might be smoking, they might be getting high, they might be sniffing, they might have abuse problems, they may be tricking all the motherfucking time, they may be taking mad chances on their lives. Don't let people already have their finances straight as far as other people are concerned, because you can't tell motherfuckers that are making money nothing. Black people who get money, you can't tell them a motherfucking thing. Because they will tell you, well, if you such a scholar, how come you can't make a dollar? You such a scholar, why can't you make a dollar? I say, you're such a scholar, why can't you make a dollar? If you such a scholar, how come you can't make a fucking dollar? You struggling, you and your kids, you and your wife, you got a fucked up life. I'm making all this money almost by mistake that you make on purpose. You's a fucking nervous wreck. And I don't give you no respect because you can't make enough to sign your own checks, but I can. So you want to talk shit to me? Yeah, good luck with that, see? Fuck out of here. Yeah. This motherfucker want to talk shit about me. You know what I'm saying? I'm peeling on this nigga. You know what I'm saying? I'm peeling on these motherfuckers. I'm peeling on these motherfuckers. You know, fuck out of here. Yeah, let me know. You probably you need a couple of dollars. Let me know. Let me know. This is my pocket money. I cash app you a couple of dollars because I know you need it. Smarty pants, genius, Joe College, went to college all them years and shit. You out here can't even find a job. Okay. Ooh, you got an A in that. The A's you got in class stand for asshole. If you were such a scholar, how come you can't make a dollar? Sucre says, if you know better than you know, you may struggle with execution. So does that mean that you know better? I mean, you may have seen better, or maybe you know comparable. How about that? Maybe we should say that. You know comparable. But if you know comparable, does that mean that you'll do better? Why do they say if you know better, then you'll do better? Maybe if you know better in an area where you want to do better, then you'll do better. But just knowing better doesn't seem to translate in enough examples that we know to somebody doing better. I mean, what do y'all think? Could it be that? Could it be that? Could it be? Could it? Oh, could it be? Could it be? On my Jaheim shit. Oh, could it be? Could it be? You know? Like my man Jeff Hawkins was talking about his peoples could out-sing anybody, but they want to do karaoke every fucking night. They want to, instead of going out here and getting in the studio, recording, make sure they save their voice, make sure they get aligned with the right people, and go ahead and forge their own path. They want to go to karaoke. They want to get the money passed around in a hat. They rather win show biz money on a bet instead of go ahead and applying themselves in the industry. And I can understand if you have knowledge of how the entertainment industry works, you may not want to be a part of all of that. But you can do it on your own. And you can make more money than you would make singing karaoke for free or passing around the hat and shit. Shit, I respect the people. I don't know about y'all, but when I see somebody out there playing pots and pans on the street or blowing a flute or has they little PV amp or they little Marshall amp and they got their little guitar or whatever. Hold on. Fuck. I ain't did this shit in a minute. Hold on. Oh shit, I ain't got my At least he got his own pot. What you got? You out there karaoke and shit. In Philly, over there in Temptations and shit. You in Temptations. Waiting for them to put up another talent night. You waiting to get discovered. You could be out there. Shit. You could play your instrument out down under the subway or some shit. You got electricity? You got electricity? You know, you got your little Bluetooth. You got your little Bluetooth amp. You get paid. You got wait to get discovered. You could buy a music program, make your own shit. But you know, in other words, you know better. But are you doing better? I don't know. Let me see. Sucre J2 says, if you touch the hot stove and burn your hand, you know not to touch it again. Is that really true though, Sucre? Because I know people who have touched the hot stove again. It might have burnt them, but it didn't scare them. Let's keep it a little bit more of a buck. Yo, Jeff Hawkins, I gotta ask you something, my brother, because these females ain't gonna keep it a buck. They not gonna keep it. They ain't gonna keep it real. So I'm gonna ask you because they gonna front. And you know how I know they gonna front because I've heard them front before. Maybe not these, but I've heard women front. But Jeff, I know that you got a boy who fucked with a chick back in the day who burnt his ass. Dick fucked up. Dick coughing up phlegm. This motherfucker shooting fire out his dick. Got a piss. Oh my God. Burnt the shit out of his ass. And regardless of what may have been behind that, you know, because you know, it wasn't really sweet like that getting burnt in the 80s or 90s or whatever. You ain't know if, you know, you remember you had to go ahead and get the pills to clear up your shit. Plus you had to get the HIV test, you know, so you spent a lot of time in the clinic. Like, please. Let it just be a regular burn. Let it be a regular burn. My point is, did that dude always stop fucking with that chick who burnt him? If you like me, I know niggas who got burnt twice by the same chick. Did they stop fucking with her though? No. Did they stop fucking with her? No. Did they stop fucking with her though? No. Yo, they should have stopped fucking with her, but they didn't do it though. They said that's the best pussy I ever had in my life. Yo, only thing I ain't gonna do is make her my wife, but I got burnt by once, twice, 3 times a burn. I said once, twice, 3 times. It wasn't my fault. I thought she cleared it up the first time, but she still burned a little bit, and I'm real sorry that I got burnt again. She burnt me, but we still friends. But I bet you I run up and again, and I still didn't wear a condom with her again. Yeah. It's the fucking truth. Yeah, that's some man truth. Most men are not going to tell a woman that he got burnt by another woman twice or 3 times. He's not going to tell a woman that, but he'll tell his mans sometimes. He don't always tell them too. But sometimes you might have seen him at the same clinic that you was getting cleaned up at twice. You got burnt by 2 different joints. He got burnt twice by the same joint. Yeah, that's nasty. I know y'all don't like talking about, but it's yeah, shit. But did he know better? And I'm only saying that because Sucre J2 said, you put your hand on a hot stove, you get burnt, you won't put it there again. But you put your hands right there on a hot pussy, and you went right back up in that shit like. The doctor, the same doctor you went to the first 2 times, looking at you like, fuck is you doing? Niggas, what is you doing? When you know better, you do better. Oh yeah. It says burning him didn't stop his heart from beating. All I know is he knew better. All I know is he knew better. Did he do better though? I don't know. Carol says, I don't know about Omar anymore. Oh God, here y'all go. Y'all know better than that. Barbara Hill C-Say. What up, Bobby C-Say? How you feeling, Mom? Carol's Chamberlain. How does he know all this stuff about treatment for getting burned? Shit, I took a lot of health classes. Remember, if you didn't know, my first year of college, I was on my way to be a doctor, or so I thought. I definitely didn't know better than that. But yeah. So we had to take a lot of health classes. Plus, I was a teenager during the AIDS epidemic. Yo, you had to know. You had to know what you were standing in front of. Shit was crazy. But in my teenage years, niggas was going back and forth to the clinic like it wasn't no joke. In Germantown, I hate to say it, but the G had a bad reputation in the 80s and 90s, especially the 90s. I remember hearing this shit. When I came home from college, people was talking about, yo, don't fuck with no chicks or no dudes from Germantown. I was like, what you mean by that? It was like, no, because they all fucking the same dudes, they all fucking the same chicks, and they HIV numbers is off the chain or whatever. Evidently, they must have cleaned up their act and sent that to Southwest Philly because they, from what I understand, in the city, they still hold the crown. Now, yeah, you forgot people still get HIV. Well, it's still happening. But in the 90s, I remember hearing that shit about people who lived in Germantown. And I lived in Germantown. So you got to know what's going on. Like, fuck. I'm like, I thought we only had sex with people who didn't live in Germantown. That must have just been me. And I guess it was. But yeah, you got to know. Shit. Yeah, I know all about antibiotics and all of that kind of shit. Yes. You know, shit is real out here. It's when you don't know. How you gonna do better if you don't know? But I knew a lot of dudes who got burnt. I don't know no dudes who got burnt who kept it a secret. Like, it was like you had to warn. Like, yo, man. Yo, I'm trying to tell you, man. Yo, you know the John Shireen. Yeah, what about Shireen? Yo, Shireen? Yeah, Shireen. Yo, man, but watch out for Shireen. And she ain't got, I don't know if Shireen got that monster, but you can best believe she got some little gremlins going on with her. You know, make sure that if you gonna mess with Shireen, just make sure you watch out for Shireen. Shireen is she hotter than she look? Shireen. But they say when you know better, you do better. Sucre says it's different with matters of the heart. Oh, so when it comes to matters of the heart, you don't really know better, or you don't really do better. But see, I'm glad you said that. It's different with matters of the heart, because you know that matters of the heart are exactly where there's no proof at all that when you know better, you do better. Not any proof at all. Not one shred of evidence that you know better. If anything, with matters of the heart, you sitting there waiting for somebody else to learn better and do better. Not you, though. Not you. How can matters of the heart be any different, Sucre Jictois? No. When you know better, you do better. Well, I don't think that when you know better, you do better. That's my argument. I don't think that when you know better, you do better. But if y'all say that when you know better, you do better, just like Grandma told you. Just like Grandma told you. Well, then I'm thinking that we should have more representation of that. You know? Or Do you learn better, or do you do better from what you knew when it's already too late? When your time is past, you pass your prime, the train then kind of went past you and all of that kind of stuff. Come on, man, I ain't here to diss nobody, but I'm just saying. We keep saying that when you know better, you do better. Well, show me. My brother Ansel Jones is in the house. What's going on, my brother Ansel Jones? Good to see me some you, my brother. Word up. Be more stand up all day, every day. All day, every day. All day, every day. He says just be buying stuff. Oh, I know you're not talking about my guitar. I've had that guitar since 2007. Since 2007. Oh, you said, Robbie said, Emily, when did he get a guitar? Y'all act like I ain't got I don't have a closet. Y'all know this is the first floor of my home. I got a lot of shit. But that guitar is not. If you go through my pictures, if you my Facebook friend, if you go through my pictures, if you go through my profile pictures all the way to the beginning, you'll see me with the guitar in 2009. I used to actually play it. I used to be here, trying to learn how to play it. I did take lessons. I remember I took guitar lessons from this fat white boy that lived out in all right. When you go out 95, like you on your way to New York, before you get to Levittown, what's that little township? It's kind of like Levittown. They have a bunch of ranch style homes that don't have no basements. In Levittown, that's the big thing about Levittowns around the country. There are no basements. All of the houses are built on a slab. What's the name of this? For some reason, it always escapes me. Anyway, he lived out there. I went on Craigslist. This was in a Craigslist days, 2007. After I bought the guitar, because I wanted to learn how to play the guitar. Because when I was standing on stages telling jokes, when I was heavily into my comedian thing, I was like, yo, I always wanted to learn how to play the guitar. And if I could incorporate the guitar into my act, like I would tell a few jokes and be doing riffs in between. He got burnt twice. I said, he got burnt twice. 2 times. 3 times. Anyway, I went on Craigslist and I was looking for somebody to give me guitar lessons. This dude answered my ad. He called me. He was like, yo, he played the guitar over the phone. He was like, would you like to learn how to play like that? I said, yeah, of course. I said, well, how much for the lessons? He said, I can teach you. I could give you guitar lessons because I just like to play. He said, I can give you guitar lessons, $15 a lesson. But I was like, all right, me and my brother, I was like, I'm not going out there, by myself, get caught up there in this boy crib. He murked me, robbed me, on some serial killer shit. So I went out there. I remember I went out there with my brother, all strapped and shit. He's strapped, I'm strapped. We going in there like we about to go rob the boy. This boy was 500 pounds easy. Fat as shit. The guitar looked like a ukulele on this nigga. I'm not bullshitting. My baby brother Hafid will tell you this to this day. We went up in the crib like, what the hell? He was like, yo, he left the door open. He don't know us from a can of paint. There was no video call and none of that shit. This is 2007. So he left the door open for us. And he said, yeah, I'm in my room in the back. Me and my brother, we like this. What the fuck? What the hell you? I said, I don't know, but we ready, right? He said, yeah, we ready. We go back in there. He's sitting on his bed, no shirt on. This motherfucker looked like a white Jabba the Hutt. He was a nice guy though, but he taught me how to play. The thing is, he taught me how to play. He was giving me lessons, but he was a cover artist. He didn't want to do original music. He didn't want to write music. He didn't want to do his own songs. He just wanted to cover. So he had a good ear for music and he knew how to play. So he would listen to certain rock bands or whatever, and then he would just play behind them. So he wanted to be a cover. He wanted to be a cover guitarist. So I stopped taking the lessons with him. I'm like, no, I want to do original music. I want to learn how to play my own shit, write my own songs. He's like, he's looking sort of like, why? That's already been done. It's easier to just, but this nigga was 500 pounds. And he said he was just giving out guitar lessons because his mom had died recently or whatever. She left him the crib and he had to keep the lights on. This shit was fucking crazy. What was his name? 500 pounds, nigga with his shirt off. I'm like, what the hell? He didn't stink though. I give him that. He didn't stink. Me and my brother was both. We left there. We was like, what the fuck? What was that? What was that? What was that? And this is my baby brother who didn't live in Philly. He had only came to Philly. He was living in North Carolina. Him and his family, his wife and his family, they was living in North Carolina. He came up, what did he come up for? It was around Thanksgiving. So yeah. So we went over the board. This shit was fucking crazy. 500 pounds. He just got his guitar. He was like, all right, man. So you got your guitar? I just got it. Had the case with it and all of that kind of shit. I'm like, all right. I've been trying to play it or whatever, but he showed me how to play. I give him that. But yeah, I've had the guitar for a long time. I've had the guitar for a long time. And so Joe says, "Where's the Fire Marshal Bill meme?" Robbie Robin Mink says, "After you find out that someone or something isn't good for you, most people want better for themselves. I always try to do better in whatever." Yeah, but I know that some people who make the same mistakes time and time again. It ain't that they don't know better. We all know somebody who's been battling drugs for the longest. They done went in inpatient rehab, outpatient rehab. They know they can tell you everything about the 12-step program. They know better. Are they doing better? Right back on that shit. Cherry says, I hate to say that's true. It was a girl that lived 3 doors away from me, and she dated a drug dealer. I guess he gave her some. And she got hooked, died of AIDS, and was only 3 years older. Died 27, Hollow. She lived down the Hollow, Happy Hollow. No, it wasn't Ben Salem. It wasn't Ben Salem, but you close. I'm talking about the part of 95. Yeah, how it's like the tail of 2 95s? You got the 95, which is the Jersey Turnpike, and then you got the Pennsylvania 95. It's kind of weird, but I'm talking about the Pennsylvania 95. When you go past the Northeast, the greater Northeast, and all of that shit, past Street Road, past all that shit. And like if you're taking the train to Jersey, the one that lets you off in Trenton, you'll ride. What's the name of that little township? Not Ben Salem, though. But I think it's like right after Ben Salem. Right after Ben Salem. It'll come. It'll come. Bobby Hill CCA says, there are plenty of things I knew better than to do and said, oh, F it. Now I know better and I do better. I think some things are a test from the universe to see if I changed. Okay. That's what's up. Grayson Wavy says he left the door open because he knew he didn't want to walk. That's true too. He was 500 pounds easy. He was the white big pun, but with the guitar. This motherfucker could play some guitar though. He could play his ass off. He didn't want to walk all the way to the door. he was saving all of his energy for the lessons. He didn't know us. I mean, if I was a white guy, I'm not trusting some obviously black dudes, some obviously verbal black dudes that I met on the phone from an ad in Craigslist 2007, and I'm gonna let him come to my house. Two dudes from the city? Shit. He was a renegade. He did not give a fuck. I wonder if he knew better. Robbie Ming says life is all about lessons. Yes, they are. Christian Wavy says you wanted to do original music and you was only paying $15, $15. He said $15 a lesson. I was not turning that down. I mean, shit. Most people eat lunch more that costs more than that a day. Bridesburg, no. Shane sounded like that's his name, Shane. No. It was a regular name like Troy or what was his name? I remember for a while I couldn't get in touch with him. I was like, yo, when we want to do some more lessons. And he got locked up. He did some shit. He said that at his job he got fired, suspected of bull. It was some crazy shit. I ain't hear from him for a good minute. I was like, what the hell? You're right. Some people just have that kind of trust and faith. Yeah. And having trust and faith is one of those things where it can show that you probably know better, but you don't do better. You ain't been doing better on that. You haven't been doing better than that. You know better than to just put your trust in people that you don't know. But people will tell you all the time, well, sometimes I go with my gut, or they make excuses for themselves. I'm just a big softy. I care about people too much. Yeah. How about that, y'all? I care about people too much. You know, I don't know why God made me this way. I just care about people. So I'm always the one that's doing for everybody. Don't nobody do nothing for me. I said I'm always the one that's doing for everybody. Don't nobody do nothing for me. I said I'm always there. I'm Johnny on the spot where everybody wants what the hell I got. But when I need me a couple of dollars and some dough, they don't know me from a can of what? Yo, I'm always there for everybody. Don't nobody do nothing for me. I'm always there for everybody. Don't nobody do nothing for me. But do you know better? Yo, nobody been helping you out. They ain't been looking out. They ain't holding you down. You still always coming around like a clown. What the fuck is up? Do you know better right now? I don't see no evidence of that. And you are still complaining about that. When you know better, do better. When you know better, do better. When you know better, you do better. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Oh, I don't know for sure. I don't know for a fact. But I know one thing, you'll be back in the same motherfucker faces that they gave you. They asked to kiss and you act like you what? Cherry says, in the early 90s, God was protecting me. I could not park at all. And I would let strangers park my car. But I felt the energy, and I know they wasn't going to take it. What the fuck? Yo! You what? Listen. What? You know what, Cherry, though? I'm glad you told that story, because you know when you think about it, when you think about all of the trusted shit that you did when you was young, or all of the foolish shit that you did based on what you, I don't even know if that's a knowing better and doing better thing. But a lot of times we went with our gut, and a lot of times it worked out. But many times when we think back on that shit, we like, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? What the hell was I thinking? Yeah. I know what I'm thinking now. I'm thinking like, I'm not sure if I knew better. Sometimes people have to remind you of what's better. And turns out that you may have just heard better. You know of better. You're familiar with better. But you don't know it because you ain't putting none of that shit into practice. You don't know it. You don't know it. You may have it memorized, but you don't know it. You know, the things that you know somebody can wake you up at 3 o'clock in the morning when you just got to bed at 12 o'clock and they could wake you up like, yo, did you know, can you tell me this equation real quick, blah, 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 blah. If you already knew it, you ain't got to think about it. You don't need no pen and paper and all that kind of shit. You ain't got to think about it. Maybe we just know of better. We may not be sure. You know, how many of y'all have somebody that you know who always kicks that shit about? That might be work. That might work for you, but that don't work for me. That's your life. That's you, but that ain't me. That ain't me though. But they know better. They sure have heard of better, right? Barbara Hill C. says, I did that for somebody at Cherry Cherry. A woman from India was in the heart of North Philly trying to park. Traffic was backed up, and she asked me to park her car. Lots of pressure for me. Yeah, I wouldn't mind being the parker. Ain't let nobody park my. Yeah. Mm-mm. But you know, I had my own spot since I was 18, just about to turn 19. July 19th, 1989 was when I got my own spot. And I remember, if I used to leave chicks in my crib, if I had to go to work and they didn't have to go yet, I used to leave them in the crib, tell them like, listen, the key is in the lock. When you leave out, lock the door and slide the key under the door. I got another key. I remember I used to leave them in my crib all the time. Never once did I think like, yo, she might steal your shit. Or she might call somebody else over there and be like, yo, the boy gonna be at work all day. We can chill up in here, or we can go get another key made. And when he's gone, we can come and we can clear this shit out. I swear to God, I used to leave my key with all the time. All the time. And then I did get robbed. And it never occurred to me like, yo, you think it could have been? I'm like, no. And it wasn't. Every time my crib got robbed, and unfortunately it did get robbed a few times. That apartment, every time I would build my shit back up, it was like, get them again. But I always knew who did it. I knew who did it. It wasn't nobody I was fucking with like that. But if I knew better, I would have just took precautions with everybody. I knew better. Or did I? I'm not sure if I knew better. Just slide the key under the door. Just slide the key under the door. She could have went and got the key made. Call herself surprising me. Hey, like what the fuck? Yeah. You gave me a key? No, I didn't give you a key. I told you to slide the key back under the door when you leave. Well, now that never happened, but it sure could have. Did I know better? Doing dumb shit. Little dumb trusting shit. Plus, they could have just went through all my shit. That's dumb shit. Bob Hill CC says, speaking of getting robbed, my neighbor has this club. I saw it the other day. Like, what? Is that a club? I've been burglarized, robbed, and thefted. Yeah. A club. You talking about the thing that go on the wheel of a car? That thing that go on the steering wheel? The old club, John? Where you're not supposed to be able to steer because you got this big. I remember I had to get a new windshield because of a fucking club. Something was wrong with the lock. I was like, yo, this club is coming off of this shit. So my young 25-year-old ass, I'm like, yo, we getting this shit off of here. So I'm wrestling, like the lock was like jammed. So instead of just getting some oil where I could unjam it and whatever, I gotta get hit the windshield. Fuck. Cracking the windshield. Like, fuck. And yeah, I did go and get a new club. When you know better, you do better. When you know better, you do better. When you know better, you do better. Do you do better? Do you do better? Yeah, you know better. You say that you know better, but do you do better? You say you know better, but do you do better? You might know better to some people, but yeah, evidently shit ain't equal. You ain't really doing better. You don't really know. You know what you show and you know how that go. And everything that you show is all that you really know. But everybody gonna say that you know a whole lot more. Yo, hey, it's gonna be all right if you live through the rest of the night. Yo, the sight is looking kind of good, like at the end of the rainbow. But for right now, you only know what you show. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay. Yo, sit back, relax, and chill. Everything's gonna be all right. Don't kill the will. Yo, show your skills. Everything is gonna be all right. That's my word. The club. All right, man. Let's do these birthday shout outs. You know what I mean? Because when you know your birthday shout outs better, you do better. When you know your birthday shout outs better, you do better. When you know. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious. March 3rd, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and make them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number one out the box. My son. I can't believe this boy is turning 16 years old today, but ain't nothing nobody can do it. When they say, wait a minute, no. He turning 17. my daughter's older brother is turning 17 years old today. And he's such a good kid. He really, really is. That shit is crazy. They ain't gonna be a senior this year? Because I'm forgetting that my baby turned 15. So he's a couple of years older than her. So he's turning 17 years old today. God damn. Ain't that about a bitch? I said, ain't that about a bitch? Yo, so that's my man Nate. Happy birthday to you, Nathaniel. Happy birthday. Do the damn thing, man. I'm proud of you. You don't watch the show, but you know what I'm saying. I'm still going to give you the shout out. You know, because I don't really want kids watching this. You know, man. But you're gonna do crazy, crazy big things because I know that you know better and you'll actually do better. Okay, so also Craig Edward turning 36 years old today. Happy birthday to you. And Kamika Warren turning 48 years old today. And also Ashley Lomas, happy birthday to you. And Kia Robinson Tull turning 46 years old today. And Lydia Batista Algo? No, Batista Dalgo. Lydia Batista Dalgo turning 41 years old today. And Carla Hicks turning 56 years old today. And my man Bobby Stells. Going all the way back to the 2010. Turning 40 years old today. That's crazy. I remember when he's turning 29. My man, what? Turning 40, the big 4-0. He's a rapper. He's really, really dope. And down there in Georgia now, taking care of his peoples, making it happen, still doing the thing with the music. And last but not least, turning 52 years old today, going all the way back to the 1978 third grade. This was my best friend, Oliver McCall, affectionately known by all of his friends and family as Squirt. Squirt, that was my boy. You know what I'm saying? When I started hanging in North Philly a lot, 24th and Lehigh, Judson Street, 24th and Lehigh, Judson Street, 24th and Lehigh, Judson Street, 24th and Lehigh. Y'all know the numbers. Y'all know how it just to get by. When I tell y'all, remember on a few shows I told y'all about when I used to hang around my drug boys, and that was my man. So they used to sell weed. And I remember he had this big ass bag of weed. And we talking about 1986, 1987. He had this big ass bag of weed, and I remember we spilled the weed on the steps, coming up the steps from the basement. Now he had to keep the weed in the basement because his grandmother lived in the house, and his grandmother worked overnight. She was hardly ever in the crib. So his teenage not going to school, as my teenage going to school, coming over there after school, hanging out. They was my thug friends, always on their way to always on their way to Glen Mills, on their way to Slayton Farms, on their way to Lafayette, on their way, because they wouldn't go to school. They were selling drugs. They was getting money. I was going to school. I wasn't selling drugs. I wasn't getting money. But that was my man since third grade. That was my man. Did I know better than to hang around them? Actually, no. I had a lot of fun. But I remember us down on the steps, on the basement steps, with spoons and shit, trying to scoop the weed, put the weed back in the bag. It was bigger, way bigger than a Ziploc bag. It was like a big bag of weed. The shit had to be this big. And how the fuck did we spill it? Well, one of the motherfuckers was coming up the steps and like, oh shit, we fucking, I was like, what the fuck? I know we lost at least 3 blunts out of that. At least. Couldn't vacuum this shit. I want to give out a shout out to y'all and anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious March 3rd, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up, but don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on it, do the damn, to rock out, rock on it, do the damn, rock out, rock on it, do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, listen to what I say, because of this type of shit can happen every day. When they say when you know better, then you do better. Well, we have clearly seen, and maybe some of us accept it, and maybe some of us don't, that just because you know better doesn't always mean that you're going to do better. It just doesn't mean that all the time. What's going on in the Shanna show? The Shanna Show. Sometimes we just know of better. Sometimes we know and are familiar with better. Sometimes we associated with better. Sometimes we've been taught better, but I don't think that we know until we start the show. It don't know until it starts the show. We don't know until it starts the show, and it's going to start the show when we really, really know. And plus, when we comply. Well, does knowing and complying be together? I'm not sure, but I'm not seeing that evidence more that than we need to do. It's going to be y'all right, yo, when you come through. Make sure that y'all share the show. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. We will be back tomorrow night for another daily go get. It's the daily. So make sure y'all come through. What we're gonna be talking about tomorrow. What we going to talk about? What we going to be talking about tomorrow? Tomorrow. I get back with y'all. I'll let y'all know. But we will be back tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. So make sure that y'all come through, have your face in the place. It's gonna be dope though. I can get that. I can get. Listen, I'm not lying. This shit is gonna be hot. I just gotta tweak it a little bit. All right. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. And for my blog talkers, so I'm out of here. I say peace and I get back. No doubt with that. And for my Instagrammers, I'm going to get back with the grammar. I appreciate me some you. Peace. Thanks for coming through. Peace. And for my YouTubers, y'all know what it is. Peace.